This is studio class. We're going to scare the new kids away. This is studio class, August 22nd. 23rd, August 23rd. All right, folks. Welcome, welcome, everybody. We have some, mostly returning today, couple new sitting in the audience with us, and then a handful that will join us next week. We have a big year ahead of us. Among other things, we have Hannah Gress's senior recital coming up, November. So we have a lot to cover today. So today we can laugh and talk, but I just want to go through some of the syllabus, a little bit of the schedule. I'm going to try to keep it, well, the word is apocryphated, and it's a word we're going to use in diction, apocryphated, which means shortened, right? Substantially, hopefully. As you will notice, there's a picture here, a press release photo that I got from Minnesota Opera from Dinner at 8, an opera that was produced last year by Minnesota Opera. And why am I talking about Minnesota Opera? Well, the reason is, I'll tell you in a second. But first, we're going to talk about Courtney Peterson, soprano extraordinaire, who has her first professional contract out of college with Western Plains Opera Company. I would like to do a field trip. And it's going to be we're going to drive to Minot. She's a recent, how many of you know Courtney? Oh, you would know Courtney. She was maybe you wouldn't. Some are like, I'm not sure if I know Courtney. How do I describe Courtney? She was a flute player turned singer. Coloratura, really showy top. She was 2 years ago. She was Queen of the Night in Opera Ensemble. What else? Well, anyway, and we can look her up later. I will let you know that the production is in 2.5 weeks, so it's coming up really quickly. I need to plan this field trip ASAP. We're gonna leave Friday, hopefully like around noon. It takes like 4 hours to get there. I'd like us to get to the hotel, settle in, get some dinner, and then have a little time to breathe before we go to the opera. Orpheus in the Underworld. It starts at 7:30 that Friday night. Tickets are, I'm going to call though. I want to see if we can get it even cheaper. The main floor tickets in this beautiful theater at Minot State, which is where they do their productions, they're only $15. But if I can get student prices even less, that'd be great. What I want to do, so be thinking about this, is if we can combine 4 students in a room, then I'm going to get the state rate. You can share that cost, and it shouldn't be more than $15 or $20 per person. I can drive one of the vehicles from school, and depending on how many want to go, it'll as of today, I suppose I can go ahead and reserve what vehicle I think we might need. What else? I want us to get out and see more productions this year. Thank you. And this is our first opportunity. So meals and shared hotel and then the ticket. And I know that you're all poor college kids, and I keep saying that. But if you can save those dollars up, and we can have our first field trip of the year to Minot to see Courtney sing in her role. She has the understudy for the lead, and then I think she has a smaller comprimario. Comprimario is Italian for a smaller role. Let me know if you are interested. I'm going to start making a list and start trying to plan this. Get that vehicle reserved. Then we have Minnesota Opera coming in a residency. This is from, I believe, from their production of, how could I forget? I will have to look that up. I'm embarrassed. Gosh, that's going to drive me crazy. Anyway, Minnesota Opera is significant. If you don't know, let me tell you just a little bit about them. They are probably the most important opera house down from Lyric Opera of Chicago, where I sang, the Met in New York City, Houston Grand Opera, and San Francisco. So then it's Minnesota Opera and Seattle Opera. These are big. It's a big opera company. They do major productions, millions of dollars. They're coming here, folks. There's been a little bit of a delay in our plans because they've had a change of guards, and the person that I know personally that I've been working with that I've known for years, he's still there. But we are hoping to bring in their performing artists, and they're going to be doing coachings and master classes. I hope to have some other colleges invited. But that's a little bit stalled right now, and I'm working on it. We are planning on 3 live master classes projected here into class, 2 this semester and 1 in January, hopefully. So I give you those dates as we go along. They are, I think, in the schedule, and I can give those to you by next week. Let me make a note of that. Oh, I guess I only brought 1 piece of paper. Okay. I will give you the master classes next week. We might want to study Minnesota Opera a little more in depth, sort of the history, what they're, I think they're an A house, but they might be a B house, which categorizes sizes of opera houses and orchestras in this country. Any questions so far? Okay, we are going to move forward into introductions. New students, we have Devin Poitras here today with us. Woo! From Rolla, North Dakota. Go Rolla, go Rolla. And a handful of other new ones. Michaela Weitzel is going to be a music education major in voice, and she hails from Davies High School in Fargo. I didn't see you because you were hiding behind my... There you are. Okay. Mike Meester is not new to us, but he is new to us. He was in Opera Ensemble last year as a guest artist. He hails from the fair city of Valley City, North Dakota. Woo-hoo. Am I missing anybody? Well, we have somebody who's new who is not new. Riley Lotz. We think we know Riley Lotz. I'm really excited. You and I really haven't conversed at all except... Okay, we can do that. We can do that. I might need to go home and let my little dog out first and then come back. Unless you have... We'll talk about it. We can talk about it after class. I was supposed to go. I promised I was supposed to go at 1:15, and I got caught up. So it's not your fault. Not your fault. So we have, like I said, a handful of other new students I can introduce next week. We still are working on registrations, and this is new to them, so of course they didn't know about class. So it's going to be an exciting new year. We did new students. Like I said, we're going to do an apocopated version of the syllabus. Hold on a second. Here is a trick for y'all to know. When you go into Blackboard, all levels of voice are at Muse 153. It's combined class. So you might be singing at 253 as a sophomore and 353 as a junior and senior. But this is where you go for Blackboard. So just go to Muse 153. And that he is combining, Brad Mills is combining all of this. I don't see you all listed there, so hopefully it will be happening in the next few 24 hours or so. Well, you will look for this, where? Down here. There we go. Muse 153, F17 for fall 17. There we are. Mikey in the middle. Kimmy to the left. Joseph covered up a little bit. Jenny, who's not with us. Oh, and Brandy, you're covered up too. Sorry about that. Oh, and there's Rochelle. Does anybody else have having slow internet on their... Okay, I should probably report that. Brandy's like, no, I'm fine. Yeah, I can sometimes my computer just freezes up. All right. Let's go to syllabus. There you go. Here is The syllabus. There's two. There are going to be two syllabus. We're looking at the primary one, secondaries. Those of you who are not majors, bear with us. A lot of this does not apply. Here it is. We are going to start lessons next week. We want to make sure that 13 lessons are given. That gives me, if I need, I try to give you 15, but that gives me, if I need, some time for recruitment. And we'll see. Maybe I won't need to use it this year or this fall. Please provide me a hard copy of your schedule with your work schedule and your name on it. And it's one of the few things where I don't want to do it digitally because I lay out everything out on a desk and it helps me. I work that way in scheduling. I like a digital copy, but I best work off a hard copy. We have a few different changes in policies for course materials in lessons this year. Typically, yes, we all have our 3-ring binders, pencils, and your computer. Some apps, which are listed below, I want you all to have, and I think they're either free or not very much, like $2.99. Purchase of song literature, we're doing more of that this year to keep us up to date and legal as a university. SD cards, we are going to be recording lessons every week if possible. So you will need an SD card. I need your notebook for making notes. And I have a new practice log, which you can use as your journal and self-assessment, which is where you put down, of course, what literature you're working on, but you're going to record your practice times. On it, there are slots for practice time. I need to make copies. You can either run a copy yourself, or I'll have a few copies handy. The link is here. Let's see if I can find it for you. Should be, let's see, where's that link? I think it might be, maybe I'll look for it later. Let's go on. Let's just finish the syllabus up and then I'll look for that. Here's a really cool website, Vocopedia, for questions regarding anything. Singing. Art Song Central is for word-for-word translations and history of songs. This is also listed somewhere else where I'm going to show you a new content link because we have lots of music to get this fall, and we have to provide original copies to the pianist for our accompanists. This will be one source. Here are all your apps. Basically, the course objective is to help you to become the best singer that you possibly can be, as close to a professional level as possible, given the time we are given here at school. There is a music student handbook. The link is at the bottom of the syllabus. You will see that in a moment. That is your go-to for questions if we are not around. 1 lesson per semester, 13 lessons is a full slot. This is for majors, so secondaries you can step away for a second because this is not your requirement. Oh, that does not look good. If you're at the 153, we want 2 English, 1 Italian, 3 of which will be memorized, and then we can do musical theater as well. We can mix that up. We can have a little leeway on this, just so you know. So this syllabus is subject to change a little. 253, 2 English, 2 others from German, French, or Spanish schools. We can do musical theater or jazz as well. A large aria can count as 2. 353, 453, capstone level. 2 English, 3 others. That's your junior and senior years. Musical theater and jazz is acceptable. A large aria counts as 2. Studio class, as you know, 2 o'clock. It is required unless you have a required class in your major at this time. We have a new practice policy. We are pursuing and fostering a culture of practice here at Valley City State in the music department. We've been a little lax about it. I sometimes forget that perhaps practicing is not something that is something you know to do. So what we are going to ask of you is this. As close to this as you can get, and that's why we're going to keep a lesson log. What's this doing? So that log that I have a copy of and that you can also print out will help you to keep your hours and your practice times, no more than 45 minutes at a time, so that you give your voice a rest. The log will include your performance experiences. So if you go to concerts, assignments that your teachers give you, translations, listening assignments, also YouTube assignments, responses to performances, like I said before. It can be kept digital if you want, but I like that handwritten. I like a log, but you can do it digitally if you like. We're also including in the grade professionalism, and it is a reference to being on time to lessons. The accompanist's time, respecting that, reference to the accompanist's time. Making sure you attend accompanist rehearsals, for notifying your accompanist if you'll be late or absent, addressing your professors with courtesy, and proper attire for voice studio performance. It is a part of the full grade. I believe it's 70 points. Students, 2 credits are expected to practice a minimum of 12 hours a week. 1 credit, 6 hours a week. This does not include homework. You know what? Hold on a second. This does include, I would include some of the time that you are listening to recordings. If you want to talk to me about that, we can include that. Because I believe that is part of the practice time. So there's a little leeway on that. That's a general, this is just a general national standard. Okay, let's move on. Oh, out of that. You know what? Let's stop here for a moment. Let's stand up. My hands are a little numb today, but let's do this. We did this in choir. Let's sing a little bit and then we'll go back and finish up. As an ode to our beloved Valley City State University. I'm going to push the tempo a little bit here. Choir. Can you read it? Oh, look what you have. Oh, hey, can somebody share me one and then, can I have one copy to play off of? Thank you. Can you share with Mikey? I'm going to push it a little. Yes, I read it earlier. Now I'm going to push it. Thank you. And I pushed you a little bit. Thank you. Have a seat. When we have university gatherings, you are our leaders with this, so I want to make sure that you know it. I need to do it a few more times this semester. One of the reasons I love that old alma mater is that it carries with us a sense of history. And it sounds a bit like an old hymn. And as many of you know, I love hymns. And I'll probably be quoting them to you this year because I think I know more than even Bible verses. My dad was a minister. So I love old hymns. Okay, back to syllabus. Let's see if there's anything I missed. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're doing great. We're doing great. Okay, it speaks of professional recordings you expect to be, and we've done this, all of you know that we sometimes do it in class, sometimes I ask you to listen to it outside of studio. Recital hour, you all know about that. One recital and then 2 songs on jury. Non-majors, 1 recital at the end at the non-major recital, which is a blast. Midterm examination, you must have 1 song memorized by midterm. This is for majors, again, just for majors. Examination for everybody is either the recital or the jury. So, and if you're not sure you want to, if it's the first time you've sung and you're not sure you want to sing on the recital, then you can sing for Dr. Redfern and I at a jury. And that would be during finals week. Sophomores, yes. A couple of you will be having your sophomore barrier this year. Mariah, Ben, I think you will have next year. Because this is our second semester at a half an hour. So you'll have yours next year. Alexa, you will have yours next year as well. Just to know. Kimmy, you'll have yours next year too. Anybody else that I missed? Rochelle will have her sophomore barrier this semester. And Joseph, you will be at the end of the year. Yes, question. Yes, end of the year. Spring. Okay. Look at the content here. I just want you to notice that we have the course guide here, the competency policy, which I had up, but I messed it up, so I haven't put it back up. It will be up really soon, I promise. The practice policy. Here are your log and self, what did I say there? Voice lesson, log, and self-assessment. That's good. This is where you make your journal notes about your lesson times. You put in your times. You make your comments. There's a document and a PDF. The PDF is if you want to handwrite it, which again I prefer. But if you really want to, you can use the doc for keeping your records and log and self-assessment together online in a digital format. Okay, so there are the general student recitals. We have 4 of them this year. Oh, what's going on? That's weird. It's not good. It's not good. Okay, let's see. Where the heck? There we go. Thanks for letting me know. October 24, my dad's birthday. November 7, November 18, and December 2. There are the 4 recitals. We have all of this to look forward to. Starting in October, the faculty recital, through December 7th, Christmas at St. Catherine's. And we may also do a courtyard sing this year. I'm not sure. I'm supposed to be in charge. I don't know. We'll see. If I have time, I'm just going to have to make time for it. Okay, going back. I'm going to put up the voice lesson schedule and try to keep it up to date and accurate. Announcements, of course. Okay, print. School. You know what I need to put up there too is the rehearsal. The studio class performance schedule. I need to make a link for that. This is a big one this semester. Here are some major resources with the one that I like the most at the top. It's classical vocal reprints, Glendower Jones. I've known him for years. Some people say Glendor. We have to make sure our pianist and you have original copies. The pianist for sure has to have the original copy, and I will assume if you're working off a copy that you have the original. So we have to find ways as best we can to get public domain whenever possible. It's not possible for anything dated 1933 on, or for composers living. So we're getting into some real gray area, but we have some great resources. So I just want to remain positive about this. We're going to go this together. It's going to be my responsibility to make sure that the pianist, and you don't have to pay for this, the pianist has the music, the original. So, but these are for you as well. These are really cool, and they're great resources for those of you who are going to be teachers. We have IMSLP, which you mostly have heard of. There's Sheet Music Plus. I know you've heard of that. Music Notes. Some of these we can change keys in, which is really good. There's an app, the Music Notes app for the phone. It also plays you things, so you can listen to it. And Choral Public Domain, I have that here partly because so many of the works, the sacred works that are sung by choirs, like for example, the Messiah, can be found in Choral Public Domain, in which are the arias. So we can get a lot of sacred music this way. Okay, what next? Let's see what we got on our PowerPoint. Any questions so far? Any questions? Yeah. Right. mean, we wouldn't understand that because the fact is that I have to drive, and it would be a long drive back. But if you constantly wait, we wouldn't have to drive back. Oh, okay. Well, and again, if we share hotels, it's a little harder to talk. How many guys do you have? Two. So, you know, a hotel may be more expensive because it's split between the two of you. But that's let me know in the next week. Otherwise, I have to drive. I'm going to have to somehow stay away from you have to promise, like Mikey said, what's in the songs. So maybe I'll get the small man or I mean, what is that? Yeah, I'll get a meeting and that'll be just so then it will cost you if we drive back. It's just $50 at the most for a waiting for a seat. And money food. So, and then of course you're conscious that you can be away and say, okay? Next is number 3 and 4. We want to talk through those, I think some of the things. Let's do it next week. And you don't have to be interested in that, but you definitely want to be someone who's moving forward and really interested in, you can be a minor or something like that. But we did this for next last year. I'm still pursuing it. I never have to do it. So this year we go. But there's musical theater. Oh, yes. But remember the scene people tell me? You are responsible for the Tennessee is, I think, right now, the school of football game. So, it would be $50 plus if you're interested in going for major, then you're not sure you want to say you can take for no purchase okay, so that's yes. North Dakota, I think we should because it's in Red Forks. And I wish we had done last year. Maybe I should do that because in his was not there. So anyway, there's 2 categories. We'll only have a couple of these in here. Those 2 will probably be great. Anything else? If I miss anything, I'll think of it for next week. Remind you of saying, if you change my whole trip, you want to go or you decide you not to go, let me know. I will observe the weekend. And we'll make this trip. Any other questions or concerns? Thank you. We'll see you. Have a great week. See you next Wednesday. Sure. And then get your card, copy of your schedule. Who did your work schedule? No, I work schedule. On there yet? M-I-Z-Z-R-O-N. I Mrs. Zinke and I will work closely together in guiding Elizabeth, period. Mrs. Zinke will prepare all choir contests. Zinke. Concerts, period. I will prepare Elizabeth for contest and solo recitals, period. You are welcome, period.